Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Joshua. Joshua is from New York City in the USA. So let's see what Joshua has to say. Enjoy the interview. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, Joshua. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me today. Let me just change my background. 1 second, please.
Sure.
Okay. There we go.
Great, good. Joshua, so how's your morning going so far? Early morning,
It's
Sunday, my God.
yes, it's very early here in New York, but that's a good thing. Yesterday was a late night, and but I'm a morning person and a night person, so I'm an everything person. So I'm always active no matter the hour of the day. So.
Oh, amazing. When I was talking to you yesterday and you said, okay, I'm going to be ready at 8 o'clock in the morning, I was like, oh my God, I'm not sure if you're going to make it 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, but you did. Amazing.
No, I'm always happy to be anywhere that I can be. So thank you again for working with my schedule. I'm sorry that it's a little hectic and crazy, but
No, my pleasure. This pleasure is all mine. So you're saying you're from New York, Joshua?
yes, New York City. Well, I've lived there for since 2005. Before that, I'm from New York State, but upstate New York, about an hour south of Montreal.
I see. And what's the best part of living in New York, in your opinion, New York City?
Oh, the best part of living in New York City is um, probably the people. Because I have so many amazing chosen family members that live in New York, and I wouldn't have met them if I weren't in New York. So that's probably it.
I see. And what do you do for a living?
I'm an independent filmmaker, actor, writer, director, editor. I spend most of my days doing that. When I'm not doing that, I also work in education. I am an academic director for an English language school, and I'm in charge of international students learning English.
My God, amazing. My God, you do a lot.
I like to keep busy, so if I didn't have all those things on my plate, I'd be very bored. So
I see. Joshua, so before we start the game, our journey, Will in the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself.
interesting about myself. Well, I have a doctorate in English literature, so
Wow.
I'm really am Dr. Josh. So
Okay, should I call you Dr. Josh?
no, you can call me Josh. Josh is fine. Doctor is only if you want to play to my ego. So
I'll play with your ego in the thumbnail. I'm gonna put Doctor from New York.
that works for me.
Okay, Joshua, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much for taking me on this journey.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friends, full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just to help wake you up a little bit before the first question. Let's do. Okay, Joshua, so just before we start the game, through the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? It's all very friendly. First question for you is, what did you want to be growing up?
When I was really young, the very first thing I wanted to be was a karate master. I was like 5 or 6. That's the first job I remember I really wanted to do, and then after that, the next job I really wanted to do was acting. So my real first job that I wanted to do was being an actor. So.
And do you have siblings as well?
I do. I have a sister. She is about a year and a half younger than I am.
And she lives in New York as well, New York City?
She still lives with where I'm from. She lives up in the Plattsburgh, New York region of New York, and she is working there in the Parks and Rec department.
Amazing. Next question. Joshua, before the next question, I was checking a little bit your videos on Instagram. Tell me a little bit, what's the inspiration, the big inspirations for your filmic videos on social media?
Sure. So a lot of the work that I do is inspired by the desire to tell really authentic and true stories for queer and fat positive representation.
I see. So, and all the videos are like short videos just based on LGBTQ community.
So they're part of my larger work. I have a production company which creates television and short films, and you can see a lot of the work on YouTube. So these are pieces from those larger works. Yes.
I see. Next question for you is, if you could have tea with a fictional character, who that would be and why?
Oh my gosh, that is a difficult one because I have so many fictional characters I'd like to meet. Oh, how do you pick just one? I guess if it were tea with a character, I would probably have to pick. Yeah, I could say Doctor Who. I would say that.
Or British.
I love Doctor Who, so and I feel like I would get a lot of I get a lot of inspiration and maybe go on some really fun journeys with this person if I met them. So
I had a guest on the show. He's an artist as well, and he's a big fan of Doctor Who. And he showed me in the back of his bedroom all of them, like the big set.
Oh, amazing!
Oh my god!
I was filming yesterday and the whole day, but I was filming in my apartment. And on my feet I had my Doctor Who slippers the whole day. So I was like I was wearing little TARDISes on my feet. So it was very comforting and relaxing.
Amazing. Next question. Okay, Joshua from New York City. Next question is, what makes you the saddest?
That's also a very difficult question. I think what makes me the saddest is willful ignorance. When people choose not to want to open their mind and learn about others, because I feel like that is probably what leads to a lot of the problems in the world today. Is just people who just I don't want to change. This is right, and there's no other way than the way that I know. So that's probably what makes me the saddest if I had to narrow it down.
In saying that, Joshua, as a gay guy, did you always have the support of your family?
I am very fortunate in that I did not have the same experiences as a lot of my community, in the sense that I was never kicked out. I was never made to feel 100% terrible about who I was. I was always different from my family, and I think that they still to this day do not 100% understand me. I was always conscious of being treated a little differently than how I maybe would have wanted to be. I don't I it was a different experience for me than maybe if I had been heterosexual. I hesitate to say anything really terribly negative, because I think my parents did the very best that they could with understanding what I was, but they were also incredibly young when they had me. A lot of people in my generation, their parents were 30s and 40s when they had a child. My parents were 20 years old when they had me, which is quite young. I mean, when I think about how old I am now and how old I was when my parents when I more my age. I was 20. I was 18 years old at this point, so I can't imagine having an 18-year-old child at this point and feeling like I understand what I'm doing with with my life, let alone their lives. So I really do believe that they did the best that they could with what they understood, but I also think that it was there were look, for every queer child, I think, growing up, it was a period of always feeling like you don't fit in and don't belong.
I see. You're saying that my mom had me when she was 18 years old.
So yes, then you understand completely. Then
Totally.
you noticed like having a very young parent, and how I was just different, I think, than a lot of your peers around you who have older parents.
Absolutely. And when I look back as well, I remember being, my dad was like 21 or 22 and my mom was 18. And they didn't know how to be a parent at the time. They were not ready, prepared. You know what I mean? When I look back, it's like, my God, they were still, learning to be themselves. And there is a child along. So
Exactly. I just it's when I think about the fact that my grandparents were the ages of some of my friends' parents, it's just it's such a different experience growing up with a family like that who's all still trying to figure out their own identities. And then I mean, it's hard because my parents were growing up in a period of massive change in the United States. I mean, the 80s and 90s and the 70s, 80s, 90s. It's all about figuring out who you are, what you are. All these new terms are coming out for things, and nobody knew what they were and how to express that. And I mean, it's so amazing that they were able to still do what the best that they could, given all the craziness and of being basically a child when they had me. So
and saying that as well, I think I wouldn't change anything. I think everything counts in the end of the day. Everything makes the person we are today. I'm so grateful. Of course, I had as well the best part. I remember I was with my mom and my dad sometimes, and they thought that they were my cousin, my older brother. I had so many situations. So like, wow, when I look back, that's the good part of having young
it's
parents.
true. It's true. And you get to have them in your life barring any major difficulties. You get to have them in your life for so long. They're such a big part of your life. So
Absolutely. Good one. Next question, Joshua. Let's do it. Okay, next question is, who was your favorite teacher and why?
my favorite teacher was from my undergraduate college experience. Her name was Professor Pere. And I mean, I guess first and foremost, she was a Shakespeare expert. So, and Shakespeare was such an important part of my education and someone that I gravitated towards as a scholar. But more than that, she cared a lot about every student that she had. She believed in me so much. Part of the reason that I think that I am someone who have pursued writing so much and being a playwright and now a screenwriter is because she just was so passionate about the work that I was producing in college and made me really believe that I could do something with it, and I am so grateful to her. She helped put me on the path to everything that I do now, and without her, I can't imagine where I'd be. So unfortunately, she passed away about a year ago, and I had lost touch with her over the years as COVID and everything else happened. But I hope that she remembered and knew how much she meant to me because she was such an important part of my life.
For sure, whatever she is right now, she's going to know that, and she's going to be very happy to know that for sure. I think teachers, they always leave a big impact in our lives. And they always leave this special touch that we're gonna get carried forever.
Absolutely.
Next one, let's do it. Joshua, as you were saying before that you knew that you want to be an actor very early age. When was the moment that you thought, okay, that's what I meant to be. That's my path. That I'd like to be when I grow up. And saying that, what's the best part of being an actor, and what's the most challenging part?
Um, those are all very, very long-winded questions I could go into, but I will try to answer them as succinctly as possible. I think probably the first time that I knew that this is something I wanted to go into was when I actually was on stage for the first time. I mean, I was in fifth grade. I forget how old you are in fifth grade. I was like 10 years old or something, 11, and I was doing a production of Romeo and Juliet, and I was like, well, this is just what I want to do all the time. I mean, this is so much fun. I love to be another person and inhabit this their life and wear costumes and get to just go on stage and act and have people. I mean, have people clap for you. That's exciting. I mean, that's really makes you want to do it forever. But so I would say that. One of the most difficult parts about being an actor, of course, is if you're not if you're not a Hollywood celebrity, you are not able to basically do it full time. So you always have to have another career to support you during in your passion, with the hope that at the end of the tunnel is that light that will get you something where you can do this full time and give yourself to art full time. Because unfortunately, uh unfortunately society does not value artists to the point that artists can afford to be artists 100% of the time.
I
So
see.
that's probably the hardest or the saddest part of it, but the best part is just being able to reach someone and connect with them and have them contact you and say what you did on that screen or on that stage meant so much to me and made me have this experience or this awakening or this feeling, and to hear that not just that you have touched them in some way that helped them or moved them into realizing some truth about themselves. I think that's one of the most rewarding things, and that shows you the power of art, is that people can learn and grow and develop because of it. So
Joshua, I had a few actors on the show from LA, and I asked them, in your opinion, do you think the main let's say spots in the US is LA and New York, or it's not like a rule? What do you think? Your opinion about that?
I think that I think that probably 20 years ago, it was New York and LA. I think that since then, Atlanta is another big area that people will gravitate towards. I think Chicago as well. But I also think that with the invention of YouTube and the invention of camera phones and things like along those lines, you aren't stuck with one of the major cities if you don't want to be. If you want to live somewhere else, you can still find a community of artists and you can still make art and put it up and be discovered and be happy with it. I mean, I've met some amazing artists from all around the world who are living in small towns or who just have a chance to live their dreams, but also live outside of the typical places. So,
I see. Okay, next question is: tell me one thing that you can't live without.
I guess I could be either serious or honest, but no. I guess to be probably I would say in a fun way, I definitely can't live without ice cream because I love ice cream so much. So.
Any flavor in special, and in your favorite flavor? Which one that be?
All of them is probably. But no, probably about like mint chocolate chip and strawberry, and I love ice cream though in general. But really, honestly, also I couldn't live without my Sidekick Productions family because they give me reason to get up every day and make art, and they do it with me, and that is incredibly important in my life. I spend so much time doing two different jobs. And one of the reasons that I do the second one is because I have the amazing people in my life who make me want to be better as an artist and want to make art with them. So
Amazing. They'll be very happy to know that when they watch the interview.
that's the goal. So I want to make sure that they know how much I appreciate them. So
Next question. Okay, next question is, who is a celebrity you admire and why?
I think that I think that over the years I've learned, especially as I work more in the industry, it's dangerous is wrong, but it's tricky to admire a celebrity because I think that in a lot of ways um they don't want to be admired. They want to just be people who are doing their job, which is in most cases acting or singing or dancing or something along those lines. And they realize that the way that we've translated a worship of gods and war heroes into a worship of people who are on a different kind of pantheon and a different kind of pedestal, because society often seems like they need someone to look up to. So hundreds and hundreds of years ago, it was great war heroes who conquered the world and Greek gods and things like that. And now it's people who are a little more down to earth and realistic. And so, but we always have that sort of like, we have to look up to someone kind of mentality as a society. Uh, so so I don't necessarily have like celebrities that I look up to in that sense. There are artists who I believe stand behind their values and try to make sure that the work that they do and the people that they associate with means something. I think like comic book writer Gail Simone is an amazing artist who stands behind LGBT rights. She tries to follow and support the right people. Neil Gaiman, who's a writer from the UK, he is an amazing person who tries very hard to support and back up people that he believes in. There are a lot of actors who really do fight for equality and rights for everyone, and so I guess there's not necessarily one, but it's the people, it's the artist or the celebrity who fights for the communities and isn't afraid to speak out against injustice that I look up to. So there's a lot of them. It's really hard to pinpoint one.
I totally agree. I think nowadays, as you're saying, people are more down to earth and they want to do the job, but not be visible. They want to do the job because they like to do. They love doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't need the spotlights all the time. They just want to do the job and get it done and be happy and doing with love. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, I think about even like because I just watched the movie Spencer the other day. So
I did as well the other day.
So Prince Harry's on my mind because I was watching the movie and I was seeing that, and I was remembering how Meghan Markle and Harry were having their sort of fallout from the family, and I was like, well, watching this movie makes me really think about all the stuff that was in the newspapers about Meghan Markle and all these things that were going on, and I'm like, I can see why Harry did what he did. I mean, he wanted to step away because he saw what happened to his mother, and it was happening right there again. So I just to go with a celebrity who's not an artist, I guess, who is not necessarily somebody who wants to be a celebrity either. So who wants to be, or a celebrity as we quote unquote call them. So
good one. Next question. Let's do it. As an actor, do you sometimes can make up different accents around the world?
I am very interested in a lot of things, and I'm very good at trying to explore things. Accents are one of the worst things I do. I am, for whatever reason, I am not very good at accents. I have a friend who can pull out any accent out of her repertoire and recreate them perfectly. Me, everything I do sounds like a very bad it sounds like a British person who moved to Texas. For whatever reason, that doesn't matter what I do, that's when it comes out. Or really bad Russian, and I don't know why. Like I can never do anything else. It's just a very, very bad experience for me to do accents.
You're talking about the royal family now. I thought I may ask him to answer the next question, a British accent.
Oh,
But
I can try, but
let's try then. Let's try. Next question for you is: do you have any pet peeves?
any pet peeves? Well, I suppose that one of my pet peeves is someone who just says no without trying anything. Who just says, I can't try it and I won't do it, and I say, no, sir. And then that's my very bad praise. But see, I don't, my pet peeve is not wanting to do it. So
You did very well. I was like, wow. Even living in London,
I felt like it for a moment. I imagined I was right before Big Ben and just mentioning that. So.
Amazing. I love it. Next question, Joshua. Before the next one, of course, live in New York. You know, it's like it never sleeps. It's a beautiful city, always something happening. I'm sure it fits you very well because, as you said, you're very proactive. You love doing things.
And I never sleep, so.
What do you? But of course, there's always the most challenging part about a big city. What's in your opinion?
I think living in New York is probably like living in any big city. Commuting is one of the most difficult parts because there's just so many people trying to get somewhere at the same time, and it's just crowded. And whenever you get a lot of people in one place, there's attitudes and personalities that don't always that come out, unfortunately. So I would say commuting is definitely one of the biggest hurdles to living in a large city, and also just unfortunately the people who don't care, because that don't consider themselves part of a community, that consider themselves to be an individual who doesn't care about anyone else. So they throw their garbage on the ground. It doesn't need to go in the garbage can or something, or they just don't like right now they don't wear masks because they don't care about other people. It's bothering them. So I would say everything that can be wrong with a person, with society, you just get more of it in a big city because there's just more people. So as amazing as the people can be in the city, in the world, you're gonna get more of them per capita, basically, in a large city. So that's unfortunately the truth, I think.
And being a gay guy in New York, you feel like, let's say, approachable, safe, is a place where you can be yourself 100%, or not always?
It depends on where in the city you are. I think like every city, there's neighborhoods which are more conservative, and there are neighborhoods which are more open and accepting of who you are. I think that for every there's also just a little bit of luck. I mean, like I said, there's so many people who are amazing and wonderful, but there's also so many people that are not, and you do the wrong thing in front of the wrong person, and it's unfortunate. I mean, for every amazing experience you see people have in one part of the city, another part you're seeing somebody get beaten for being gay or being trans, and there's still a lot of work to do, I think, in the world to make LGBT people accepted without constant fear. So I think this is true for everywhere. I think New York is a very safe city overall. I think that New York is a very safe city, and I think New York is a city that loves the people who reside, who make it up. But I think that there are parts of everything which can be a little more dangerous than others. So,
see. Next question is: where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
That's goes with my dreams. So in 5 years, I see myself working full time as an artist, and my company is producing more and more queer and fat positive content, and we are being not just appreciated for it and awarded for it, but also paid for it, and we're able to work on art full time. So that is where I see myself in 5 years.
Very good. I have 3 questions left for you, okay, Joshua? Let's do it. Next question is, what's the most beautiful thing someone has ever said to you?
Probably I love you. Because I think that as silly as it sounds at times, love is what makes people connected, and what makes people feel special, and makes people feel like they can change the world. And so when someone says they love you, and I'm not talking just romantic love, I'm talking about love of the work that you've done, or love of you as a friend. They are invested in you, and they want to join you on a journey in the world, to see how and together you can make things better. You can make the world a better place if when there's love between everyone. So
Good. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. All right. Next question is, describe yourself in 3 words.
I would say artistic. No, I would say creative, more than artistic. Creative, passionate, and determined.
How about a negative one?
I would say stubborn.
Can be a good thing.
It could be a good thing.
Depends on the right way.
Yes, it depends on how it's used. It could be good to be stubborn about your goals and to be driven by them. I would also say dreamy. I spend a lot of time dreaming about things, and that can sometimes be impractical. So.
But never stop dreaming. Never.
No, never. But it's important to have a little bit of realism come in, and I sometimes forget the realism part. So
good for you. Last question. Let's do it. Joshua, before the last question, people watch the interview. Would you like to start a career as an actor, or even in the industry as an artist? What would be your best piece of advice for those people?
I would say, do it. Don't sit there and let fear take you away from trying it. Just jump in and do it. Record a monologue and put it on YouTube. Sing that song and put it on Spotify. Write that story and share it on the internet. Just do it, because there is nothing that can hold you back except for yourself at the very beginning. And weirdly enough, my boyfriend loves hockey. So I hear this all the time when he's watching hockey. They're always using this quote, and I think it's a really beautiful quote about life in general. But Wayne Gretzky once said, "You miss 100% of the goals you don't shoot," and I think that's true. You can do so much but you have to do it, and if you don't do it, you'll never know if you could have. And I think Emily Dickinson is an amazing poet who never showed her poetry to anybody until after she died. So that's right there is something that you just don't hide yourself and share who you are with the world, please. Because if you want to be that artist, that actor, that painter, that writer, whatever it is you want to be, the only thing that will hold you back at the beginning is you not saying, yes, let's try it. And so I believe in doing it and trying it.
Totally agree. I think sometimes the first step is always the most difficult one, but as soon as you get over it, it brings beautiful things along the way.
I agree completely. I think that that's the hardest thing to do, though, for anybody, and for myself, I'm sure for you, is just saying we're going to start this journey with the first step, and I'm terrified of that. So
And in a way as well, it's a scary feeling, but nice one as well. It's scared but still nice at the same time.
absolutely. No, I mean, some of like that stage fright right before you go on stage that first time, that's terrifying, but it's also like it makes you feel alive. There's that, or when you show somebody this piece of art for the first time that you did, this story or this painting, it's terrifying to see their reaction, but it's also like, oh my god, I'm finally doing it. I'm showing somebody. What is it? What are they going to say or do? It's so alive. You feel so alive. You really do.
Amazing. Last question for you is, which bad habits you wish you could stop?
That's a great question. I wish I could stop. I guess to reincorporate, I wish I could stop eating so much ice cream. But no. But seriously, I wish that I could stop self-doubting myself. I wish that it's very easy for me to have those negative voices in the back of my head, and especially comparing yourself to others and saying they're doing something, you can't do it, or look at that, this person succeeded, there's no room for you now, or there's no way you're going to do that, or this person's been doing it for less time and they're already. I do this all the time, especially now at my age. I always, like, I see a celebrity who's doing a Marvel movie or something, and I'm like, this person is younger than I am now, and they are on the biggest stage in the world, and you're never ever. It's too late for you. You're too old, and so I have to. I That's something I want to. I wish I could stop, and I try very consciously not to, but doubting and comparing myself to others is probably the thing I would want to change the most about myself. It's a habit that I wish I could stop.
It's very interesting saying that, Joshua, because as I'm talking to you for the very first time, you don't pass this let's say insecurity information. For me, you come across a very confident person that you know what you are doing. You know what I mean? I think it's interesting, but of course, a lot of people, they are very confident. You can see how confident they are, but of course, the voice behind as well, it's there.
RuPaul calls it the inner saboteur, the voice in your head who tells you that you're not good enough or you can't do it. There's a musical called Title of Show, which has a song about it's called Die Vampire Die, and the vampires are the voices in your head who say you're never going to be good enough, you're going to never succeed. I think that artists and people in general always feel like they're never going to be good enough and never going to be able to do it. I think you take the most famous celebrity or the most talented sports star, and they still believe they have those voices there. It's about, and that's why I think so much. And I go back to my what you asked me to say about art, to tell artists about starting out. Those voices are always going to be there, and that's why you just have to do it, and you have to just take that first step, as you said. That's the hardest one, but that's the step you have to keep taking, and every day I think it's a first step in some ways. So,
and when the voice is there, the voice is always going to be there, but just try not to get this voice too loud. Let's put a little bit down this voice, let the voice be there, which it can be encouraging as well for you to prove that you are stronger than that. Don't let the voice be so loud. Let's
absolutely.
100%
agree.
Joshua is not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Politics.
Oh, stressful.
How about love?
Necessary.
Money.
Necessary.
Family.
Chosen.
How about sex?
Um, something. Word. This is hard. Sex positive.
Okay. Life.
Life. Beautiful.
Religion.
Um, Religion is powerful.
Very good. You went around, and you got one answer.
I tried. I was like, how do I put it into one word?
One word for fear.
Real.
Friendship.
Necessary.
Desire.
Inherent.
Regret.
Useful.
Success.
Attainable.
Wish.
Important.
Happiness.
Important.
One word for New York.
Home.
One word for USA.
Divided.
One word for actor.
Dream.
And the last one now, Sidekick Productions. One word.
Queer.
Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your lovely partner for a coffee, and I'm going to ask him, tell me the most beautiful thing about Joshua, and tell me something that he still needs to improve on, to work on. What he would say?
The most beautiful, he would probably say the most beautiful thing about Joshua is his creativity and passion and work ethic, because this is his words, but he would probably say that nobody or few people work harder than I do, and have more things to say and write and tell and stories to tell than I do. And he would say that I need to take better care of myself because I am very bad at remembering to do things like eat. Sometimes I'm so focused. He literally has to put food in front of my face and say, "This is lunch, eat it now," because I am very, very bad at things like that. And I very lost for in the fantasy sometimes, to the point that the real world doesn't always seem important to live in. So
Good for you that you have someone like looking for you, this, for this side of the.
I'm so lucky to have him. Because he believes in the work that we do, and he also supports me in making that work possible. Because if I didn't have him, I really would forget to eat lunch sometimes. For example,
Would you forget the ice cream as well?
never forget the ice cream. But the ice cream is always before bed. So after the long day, you get the ice cream this is the reward for the long day. So that's why I put the long hours in, because it's like I need that reward at the end of the day. So
That's what keeps you going, is the ice cream before going to bed.
That's my goal. That's some people say it's winning an Oscar or something. For me, it's the ice cream before bed that I go for.
Your partner goes like, and the ice cream goes to Joshua.
And then I just clap and say, "Thank you. You love me. You really love me."
Let's play now Joshua in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, Joshua, you can ask me a question now.
I would love to know what your favorite book is.
Oh my God. Actually, I have a book that is very spiritualist that when I was a teenager I was reading, and actually it brought me a lot about being spiritual, how be with yourself. It's a Brazilian book, but there is The Alchemist. I think The Alchemist.
Yes, of course.
Paulo Coelho. I think there's this book I read twice in different stage of my life, different points of my life, and I really saw a different message, you know what I mean, through the book. And I think it's very spiritual as well. And I think it's, I would say this one, because it's at the time, and still when I think about it reminds me for you to, you know what I mean, believe in yourself, being spiritual, and I think it was a reminder. It gave a big impact for both of the times when I read it. And actually, I'm going to read it again because it's been a while already, and I'm sure I'm going to see in a different way. So
that's beautiful. Yeah, that's a great piece of literature that can change as you change, and you can grow with it. And it's Absolutely. Not it's something. It says something different every time you approach it. That's beautiful.
Absolutely. But this one I'll tell you before, it's called, actually in English, I don't know how it translates, but mainly it's like a flower at the window. It doesn't say a lot by the title, but it's all about yourself, about being spiritual as well, about you know what I mean, growing up as spirit, not being just focused like this mindset. You need to be open about things that come to you, and how to try to understand as well. As a teenager reading that, I was 18, I think, I was like, wow, that's something that I needed to focus more. So yeah, but The Alchemist, it left a big impact for you, for sure.
Amazing.
Joshua, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy the interview? I
had an incredible experience. You were such a wonderful person to talk to. This is, like you said, our first time meeting, but I feel like I have been speaking to you like for years, because it's so much fun to talk to you.
Oh, thanks so much. And I must say, I was a bit intimidated in the beginning, because since I started doing the show, when I invite people on the show that they are being, you know what I mean, this business, show business with like an actors, I always get a bit like, oh my God, I'm not sure. And when you said that you are a professor, like you're a doctor, professor, okay, it's gonna be even harder now for me to talk to. But no, you made me feel very comfortable, and you're very open as well, very approachable. And thank you very much. Thanks for taking the time on Sunday morning for the interview. I feel very privileged.
It is my pleasure. I feel privileged to be on your show. I mean, thank you so much, because you are such a wonderful person, and I can't wait to follow you on your journey as you talk to more amazing people along the way.
Thanks so much. Thank you. But before you go, Joshua, if you could share a positive message or a positive quote, something that inspires you in life.
I guess I'd have to think about I think something that I think back on is a quote from a book that I read as a child, the moment that you stop grieving for your enemies is the moment you've lost the war.
Wow. Amazing. Everything's necessary. You need those as well around us.
Absolutely. Even the people that even the people that you think are negative influences in your life, you still have to view them as people. And the minute you stop is the minute that you are giving yourself into hate, which goes back to what I said. You need love, and love is important. Love is the way that you connect the world. Love is love, and without it, the opposite is just nothing happens.
Absolutely. Joshua, thanks so much for the interview. Regards for your part, and you keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.
You too. Goodbye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.